Hey, how you doing? Justin back with you to talk about your practice routine for lesson 1. So I've prescribed you a pretty specific 20 minutes a day, which, as I mentioned before, I would recommend you do it 4 times a week. But if you're really going for it and your fingers aren't hurting too much, there wouldn't be any real bad harm in trying to do it every day if you so desired. I would prescribe 3 minutes of D chord perfect practice. Okay, so for 3 minutes, use a timer. You can use the practice assistant on the app on my website. You can use the app. There's lots of different ways of timing your practice, but I would recommend that you keep a note of it. At this point, as I'm filming this video, the best way of doing that is to use the practice assistant on my website, but the app will also be very helpful for that as well. The idea with the chord perfect thing, you're just going to get the chord. You hit start on your timer. You do the fingers, 1, 2, 3, strum. Make any corrections. And then strum it again. Tell yourself that's the right way to play the chord. Take your hand off. Same thing again. Finger 1, finger 2, finger 3. Attempt the chord. Make corrections, etc. That's the chord perfect practice, and you're going to be doing that for 3 minutes on the D chord, and then 3 minutes, exactly the same exercise, but on the A chord. Okay, so 3 minutes on D, 3 minutes on A. Then we're going to go to 2 minutes of anchor finger work. Okay, now you're not pressing hard for the anchor finger work. That's really important. You're just literally going to be playing the A chord, and then the D chord, and the A chord, but we're not actually playing anything. We're not even pressing full strength with the fingers. We're just trying to get the fingers into the right spot and concentrating on that motion of the first finger where it's moving just that little bit within the same fret and working as an anchor. Okay, 2 minutes on that. Then you've got 2 times 1 minute changes on A to D. Okay, if you want, you could do 1 session of 1 minute changes, then do the anchor fingers, and then do another session of 1 minute changes. That way you get a little break in between. That's probably not a bad plan. The 1 minute changes, of course, hit start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. for a minute, and then writing down, really important that you write down or type in, if you're using the practice assistant, you type in how many changes you did on that day. Okay, it's a really good motivational tool, really help you with your chord changes, which will in turn help you play songs. After that, you've got 10 minutes song practice. Whole 10 minutes. I would really strongly recommend you spend half of your practice time playing songs. That's the point of all this. At the end of the course, you want to have songs that you can play, songs that you can play for other people, that you can play for yourself, that you might play at a gig one day. Songs is what it's all about. Nobody goes to a concert to watch people play scales or play chord changes. They want to hear a song. So I'd recommend that right from this first lesson that you get into the idea of playing songs. Now, I've given you some suggested songs. You can either use my beginner song course app. You can use the play-alongs on the website. You could play along with the original recordings in some cases where it's not too difficult and it's in the right key. Again, there'll be further notes on that on the songs for this stage page, which we looked at, like, I think it was last lesson or the lesson before. Whatever it is that you're doing, practice playing songs. If you really want to sing, there's no harm in practicing by yourself. And I should note that at least once before the next lesson, you should have a go at playing songs on your own without an app or without a backing track, just so you can clearly hear your guitar and you're not getting an unrealistic view of your progress. Because it is quite a lot harder playing on your own as well, okay? Keeping the chord changes going, especially if you're going to sing. Singing and playing is quite a whole nother level of difficulty as well. Not something that I'd recommend that you get into in the first session, I can assure you. Probably the most important factor in making fast progress on the guitar is regular practice. I'd really recommend that you try and get 4 practice sessions in the week rather than just 1 big session, say, on the weekend. Now, that isn't possible for everyone, I know. You might have a very busy work life, a lot of family commitments or whatever. It might not be possible to make that practice time. But the best way to do it is to find a slot every day that you've got to spend some time with your guitar. Either really early in the morning before the kids get up or before you go to work, or lunchtime at work if there's a room that you can do some practice in, or in the evening after the kids have gone to bed, or you've got a bit of time where you can just settle and take some time for yourself. If you're not practicing guitar, maybe you want to spend a little bit of time learning some music theory or just listening to music and enjoying it, getting yourself inspired to play more. But just trying to carve out that little bit of time for yourself to practice a guitar every day if you can, for music, not necessarily guitar practice. Like I said, that everyday practice can be a bit sketchy in the early stages, but spending it, a half an hour slot where you've got time to think about music every day would be a fantastic start to your guitar journey.